Hey, everybody. Welcome. Good to see everybody. Thanks so much for your patience. We had some delays in the waiting rooms tonight. Fun to see all of you dancing. Especially heartwarming to see the Stampalias here, even joining in the dancing. Hi, guys. Welcome, everybody. If you're new tonight, just a couple of heads up. Everybody starts out muted. But a little later, we'd love to meet all you new people and give everybody an opportunity to, ask questions if you've got them, but everybody's muted for right now. And one little tip for your Zoom is if you view everything in speaker view, it's going to be helpful instead of all the different screens that can be distracting. And I hear we've got some comedy to start out with tonight. Kyle's corny comedy moment. Is he there with you guys in the basement crew? Or is he? Oh, yes, he is. All right, I'm going to put you on spotlight, Kyle. So Kyle's one of the managers over there at Rebuild Recovery. Got a couple years clean under his belt, and he is our comedian every week. So, Kyle, are you ready?
Yes.
All right,
can you hear me fine?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. Okay. What do you call a fish that has two knees? A toonie fish.
Yes.
I went to McDonald's. When I got there, I realized I wasn't as hungry as I thought I was, so I decided just to have a kid's meal. His mom was pretty pissed.
Oh, I like that one. That was good. The kid's mom was pretty pissed.
What do you call a dead magician? Abracadaver. Did you guys hear about the CEO of that company that makes Halls, the throat medicine? Well, he passed away last month. There was no coffin at his funeral.
I get it.
I ordered a chicken and an egg on Amazon. I'll let you know.
I get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
When I did that one, Kent's like, Kyle, Art's not going to get that at first. I was like, yeah, you won't. I've been having a hard time believing that my dad has been stealing from his job as a traffic cop. But when I got home, all the signs were there. Growing up, my mom told me I could be whoever I wanted to be. But it turns out identity theft is a crime. You guys know what ET's short for? It's because he's got these little legs. So it turns out that we actually might have a gay guy here in the house. I hope it's Bobby. He's pretty cute.
Everybody's clapping, Kyle.
I don't get how that's a joke.
That was good. That was really good.
All right, I get it.
I enjoyed all of those. Okay, we have two more things before we turn it over to Art. First, I'll introduce Steve next, but Moms Group. So every Wednesday, 11 a.m., we have a Moms Group via Zoom. We all just kind of take an hour, have coffee together every Wednesday morning at 11. All of you moms are totally invited. Even if you haven't joined us before, please join us. You can come when you can be there. You don't have to be there every week if you can't, but please join us. If you need the link, you can reach out to Kristen or I, and we'll get you the link. And we hope to see you tomorrow morning. It's been a lot of great conversations. So please join us. And then we have Steve K.O. Maddox that's going to share a little bit about some fun we have coming up as an organization. Let's get you unmuted, Steve, if we can. How's that? I think, oops, you just muted yourself. Let's try that again.
There we go.
Hey,
There we
guys.
go. Thanks. You know what? It's probably better unmuted than not. But anyway, hi everyone. Good to see you. My name is Steve, and Bertie and I found Battlefield probably about 4 years ago. Thank goodness. What it's done for us and our family has been nothing more than amazing. It saved us all. And back when we started, we would attend these live solution groups. And in those live solution groups, we all had a common interest, and that was our kids and helping them get clean. And that was what we were there for. But what ultimately happened was community happened. We have found that there's some amazing folks from all walks that got together and formed a community that now I think are friends and love each other. And since COVID and the craziness of COVID, I know the board, I joined the board about 2 years ago. And since COVID, it's been something to try to connect. I mean, with Kyle and his jokes and with all the things that are going on with the curriculum, it's all there. But the board has been racking their brain to go, okay, what else can we do? What can we do? We don't want to raise hell, but we do want to raise fun. And that's what I'm here to tell you about. We have an opportunity to get together as a community and do some more kinds of laughing and sharing in a fun trivia night. So we're looking to host a trivia night June 12th at 6 p.m. And what we've hired a trivia jockey, a professional trivia jockey named Clyde Miller from Quality Trivia. He comes in and does what most of us know in coffee houses around, that you have a trivia team. And so we're looking to have you become trivia teams. We're looking for about 12 people that think they have friends or family that they could get together to create a virtual trivia team that is just a night of fun. Now, to do this, it can be a virtual team, or it can be a face-to-face team to keep it fun and safe. What you need to do, if you're interested, even if you don't have a team yet, but you're going, this might be a very cool thing. If you think you might want to do this, you would like to contact one of our board members, Becky Wiggins. And if you have a pencil or a pen or a device, write this down. Her email address is becky@battlefieldaddiction.com. Very easy, very simple. If you're interested and you're going, that sounds like fun, contact Becky and say, I would like to be a team captain for a group of no more than 6. It can be a few less. And our trivia jockey will put together this virtual team. And it's all in Zoom. They take care of all of that. If you don't have a team yet, but you are interested, get a hold of Becky and say, I'm interested. We're looking for about 12, maybe a few more teams to do this first one. What will happen is if that's the case and you want to, we will send you more information that will set you up and give you your team so we can play June 12th, Saturday night. The email is Becky@battlefieldaddiction.com. Now, if you're just simply interested, but you're new to Battlefield, you don't know people around, but you thought this would be kind of fun to connect with people, go ahead and also contact Becky, and we'll hook you up onto a team that is being made, and we can go with that. There's going to be prizes. It's it really is not. It is a not raising hell, but raising fun. It's a fundraiser, and so the only thing that needs to happen is that to hire Clyde and Quality Trivia, we're asking that each team pays a $20 fee. That not everybody pays, just them. $20 fee, and they that will get you on the team. If we go, if you get in soon enough, you'll be in on that first game. We're wondering or we think maybe there might be more games that could be done. So if you don't get in that first 12 or whatever, we'll hold your name and set it up. So if it's successful, we'll play another set. Let's see. There's going to be prizes. And one of the prizes is that if your team comes up with a creative name or an offbeat name, the night of the trivia event, we're all going to vote on the best name provided, and that will be a prize as well. Yeah. So that's it. We're dying to try this. And as Art would say, breathe. Well, this is a collective breath. It's a time for us just to be present, to laugh, to have some fun. And maybe we can get Kyle to get us some jokes in there as well, I hope. But a collective breath for a lot of fun, for a fundraising activity. Saturday, June 12th. You'll want to sign up by the 4th. We'll send more information out to you if you're interested as you sign up. Okay, that's it.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Steve.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So much fun. Thank you so much. We appreciate our entire board. We appreciate you, Steve, and more information to come. If there's
Back
any
at you, sister.
And if there's any questions out there, don't worry too much. If you have questions, don't worry too much. If you want to participate, reach out to Becky. It'll all make sense, and we'll get you the information. Thank you again, Steve.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, Steve.
Of course, Art.
What
Beautiful.
A great team. We love it. We have a great team. Okay. It's all you, Art.
Well, I just want to first check in with Pam and Dave, and I want to hear how Chris is doing. If anybody doesn't know, their son Chris was in a pretty terrible car accident last week, and he's in Harborview Hospital, and because of COVID, we can't see him. And so I would just like to hear from Pam and maybe Dave and see if we can get an update on how he's doing.
We can't hear you yet, Pam. We're trying to get you unmuted. There we go. Hi, guys.
Hi. Well, it's really been touch and go with him. He has a severe brain injury, and there was a stroke caused by the blood clots. And he has also a damaged aorta. And I've taken notes, so I just have to, the middle, give me a second here. The middle cerebral artery in his brain is affected. So at this point, we don't know. He's able to open his eyes. He will look at you if you call his name, but he is still on a ventilator. The positive on that is that he's at 98% oxygen level. And so the oxygen level is down to, they said, the minimum, which is 21%. So he will hopefully be getting off the ventilator soon. There's so much going on. He's got a lot of medications being pumped into him. They've got a heparin drip to prevent blood clots. He initially had both lungs were collapsed. His clavicle was fractured. His left femur, they did surgery on the outside of it yesterday, and put a bar in temporarily until they can stabilize him enough to go in, because he's got a lot of swelling going right now, and put a plate and pins in for a permanent fix to the femur. So yeah, he's a mess. They're talking about letting us do Zoom with him, but I really don't want to do Zoom until he's coherent and not sedated with all the medications that he's taking right now.
Wow. So he's fighting.
Are they saying the brain function is good and there's a chance that he might come out of it normal, or?
Well, we don't know yet. There is brain function. He can move parts of his body.
Oh, you're muted. You got muted.
Okay, there. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, he's still what you would consider on life support right now, but he's showing signs of consciousness, and so every day there's some ups and downs, but every day there's 3 teams that are working on him: a cardio team, a neurological team, and a orthopedics team. And then they all have to work together as to who's doing what on any given day. So pretty tough shit. If you saw the car, it's amazing that he survived it at all. It took everything all the way back to the windshield.
But we did find out from the tow truck driver that was out here, because they were there to
they responded to the accident, and he said he'd been doing this for a number of years, and it was pretty evident to him that Chris was not at fault in the accident, especially when the police they released Chris's car to their wrecking yard, and they impounded the other car to the police yard to tear it apart. So
did the other driver come out okay?
We don't know anything about the other driver.
Know.
Wow. Okay.
So, anyway, we're taking it day by day.
All right. If there's anything we can all do, let us know. I got a bunch of hands here if you guys need any help. So.
All right. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. That's tough. I've been going over a book, last 2 books today, or 3 books recently. I read, I've been listening to a kind of a book review. I've been listening to Barack Obama's book, and that was really boring and really, really terrible. I mean, well, it's on Audible, and I listened to 5 hours, and I looked at the Audible length left in the book, and it said 25 hours, and so I gave up. I was like, I'm not gonna listen to this for another.
Does he narrate it himself?
He narrates it himself, and it's just the history of him. It's just each campaign and who he went against. So then I switched it up, and I got crazy, and I got this book called The 5 Love Languages, and just got kind of fruity with that and started reading that. And then I went through that book, and that was okay. And then today, Oprah came out with her new book today. It just came out. And so I was listening to that today. And Oprah's book is all about trauma and how fitting about adverse childhood experiences and how we got and how people get how they get and what happens to people. And so, but the common theme or whatever in both in all this when it pertains to trauma or pertains to everything that we're doing here. For a long time we've ran this solution group, and we used to, it was kind of pronounced at the beginning of solution group. We used to say the same thing. Angie used to say the same thing, that we required two things to come in the room. And if you were here, you had to have these two things. You had to have both truth and presence. And so, really, and that's, I think, required. And what Oprah says in her book is the solution for all this is connectedness, and how we as human beings begin this process of connecting to each other and reconnecting, and this getting out of this isolation and this concern for our own protection and everything that's going on, man. And then now COVID, and you see this whole, political thing and all this that's going on in the news and the social media, and it seems to me that what's getting very hard is to figure out what truth is. I think the hardest thing that we have to do anymore is to figure out really, when we say truth anymore, what does that even mean? What does it mean that someone's telling the truth? If I turn on Fox News and they tell me they're telling the truth, well, then I turn on MSNBC and they tell me they're telling the truth, but they're the exact opposite sentences. And I turn on whatever channel and they say they got the truth, and then somebody's talking and the people are doing one political protest and then they got the truth, and then the people that are fighting against them, they got the truth. And I recently went to Federal Way meeting with the mayor at Federal Way and a group of people, and they had their truth, and they were arguing against other people, and the mayor was stopping by to see this group of people, but he was probably going to go to the other group of people later and tell a different truth. So, really, and I think I'm in a laboratory here, just so anybody knows. I live in a science lab of addiction and a science lab of recovery. It's a mental laboratory here that we live in. It's intense. There's not much square footage for the amount of people here, and right now we're sitting here with 5, 8, 12, 16 people in this room, and it's not very big, and all 16 of us are here. And we do groups every day, 3 times a day. There's groups in this house, and I think that I've kind of came to this conclusion that the most difficult part of all of this, that what we're really doing here is deciphering and trying to get down to this bone of truth. And I'm not saying that people are lying. I'm not suggesting that people are lying. I'm suggesting that people can't tell the truth. And I want to create a distinction about that. There's a big difference between people lying, outright lying, and what's going on here, and what goes on this Zoom meeting, or what goes on between people in a family. What I say that goes on is people don't tell the truth. People don't tell their truth. And for several reasons. One, we've really gotten to this thing. We used to study, and I've done a lot of listening to Werner Erhard, and he was big in the 80s and early 90s. And Werner had a theory about people. If you look, he said he had a theory about people just different than he had a theory about dogs. He said if you looked at dogs, you can tell what dogs are concerned with. He said the type of being that a dog is the type of being, and you can look and see what type of being a dog is, and the type of being a dog is a dog that's concerned with his food, and the dog is concerned with getting scratched behind the ear. And the dog is concerned with the bone, and the dog is concerned with chasing the ball. So we know the concerns of a dog. And he said, just like that, he looked at human beings and he said, they have another concern. Human beings are concerned with looking good. And he stated that, and he said it's a possibility, but he said, just look and see if it's true. And he said the number one concern of human beings is looking good. The type of being that a human being is the type of being that wants to look good. And he claimed that was his thing. And I believed it was true. But recently I've started really looking at it, and I think it's gotten worse than people wanting to look good. I think when people want to look good, it's kind of a good system. I think it really promotes creativity when people want to look good. People want to put something out there. People want to show off. People want to say, this is what I'm about. And people want to look good. And I think it's gotten worse than that. And I think it's gotten to a point now where people just don't want to look bad. And people have given up even trying to look good. And there's some people, but maybe a lot of people have given up. And right now they're worried about getting canceled. They're worried about saying something that has them eliminated from business. They're worried about saying the wrong thing politically. Even comedians are worried about being comedians. It's a tough game now being a comedian because everything you say can get you canceled. So people are now concerned not anymore about looking good. They're concerned just not saying anything to look bad. And as we join here every day, what I've noticed and what I'm coming across is that we can be present, and that we can be present together and people can be present. But the most difficult part is getting people in this room and getting people on this chat to say their truth. Now, when I say your truth, I didn't say I want to hear your opinion. I can easily get people to say their opinions. People will say their opinions on politics. People will say their opinions on another person. People will say their opinions on Trump. People will say their opinions on drug addictions. People tell me their opinions on homelessness. People tell me their opinions on, everybody's opinionated. Everybody says, I know what we should do on the homeless situation. I know what we should do about politics. I know what we should do about BLM. I know what we should do about everything. And everybody's got an opinion. And so what I see is either people coming up with their opinion or people coming out with their complaints. So people come out with their opinions, people come out with their complaints, and then some people try to look good. So as you hear people talk, I want you to see this distinction, that as you listen to people, go ahead and look for yourself. Now, the reason when I say people are trying to look good, I don't think they know they're trying to look good. I think they think they're just talking. I think what they think is when they want to look good, they want to tell us what they know. They want to tell us how smart they are, but they want to wrap it up in a way that we don't know that that's what they're doing. They want to kind of just say, here, I'm going to tell you what I know. I'm going to do this talk tonight. And then now I'm going to scare everybody because you're going to be very dangerous about talking, but I'm going to do this talk tonight. And then somebody's going to say, I have a question, but they don't. They have a statement about what they know, and they want to wrap it up as a question. So, and this is everywhere. People, we don't generally anymore even get truthful enough to ask a question. I want you to really look. I want you to look for yourself. Before I did this talk tonight, I went over and I went, when's the last time I asked a true question? And I kind of found a few places, like when I was doing a coaching, I wanted to find out about somebody, and I asked some questions about their background. And then I remember I asked Sam Quinones a question I was really curious about. I was curious to see if he saw evil intent in our government. I wanted to know that answer. I really was curious about that. And so I'm looking, and I want you to kind of look and see the last time you asked a question, one that you really wanted answered, one that was really the truth. Like, I don't know this. And it would help and improve the experience of my life if I knew this, if I asked a question. And I would say that questions are kind of out anymore. People don't really ask questions anymore. They want to ask something either to catch someone. They want to catch them. They want to prove them wrong. They want to see that it's a contradiction, but not question out of curiosity. I remember I asked little Brendan, he was going to school. He was 14. So 8th grade, he was on his way to 8th grade. And I said, I'll challenge you today. I want you to go to school, and you have 6 classes, and you tell me when you get home if any kid at your school asked a question. And when he came home, he said no. In his classes all day, not one kid asked a question at school. Everybody knew everything already, I guess. Or maybe they were worried about looking bad. Or maybe they were worried about looking good. And so as I sit in these groups with you guys, I think there's several reasons we don't get down to you guys saying your truth. I think it's very easy to say your opinion. I think it's very easy to say your complaints. You know everything about politics. You can tell me about racism and every opinion that you have and what it is. But I want to hear your truth. Now, several reasons why people don't say their truth. Because one, it leaves us open to really get down to the point where when you're saying your truth, it's going to bring tears to your eyes. It's going to make you cry to tell your truth. So you don't want to do it. Now, I ain't talking about your opinion. I'm not talking about your complaints. I'm talking about sitting long enough with yourself to actually tell the truth. Now, when you tell the truth, I also want to say that what's going on in relationships is people aren't lying, but people aren't telling the truth. I don't know how many people, I don't know what people think about me. I don't know what people think about me. I want to know what people think about me. But, normally people don't tell me what they think about me. They tell other people what they think about me. That's real big of you. It's real big of us. So people sit in a room with each other, and this is going on a lot. Two couples drive to dinner. They sit with each other. They have all these thoughts. They're too scared to say what's in their head to each other. So they keep it zipped up. They play nice. They say nice things to each other. Then they go get in their car and they talk about the thoughts that they had, that they weren't willing to say at that table. And I say, that's why we're not connected. Because we're trying to connect through our opinions. We're trying to connect through our complaints. And there's no connections in our opinions and our complaints. There's only connection on the truth. And we have this difficulty even finding it in ourselves, let alone saying it to other people. We don't sit long enough with our thoughts to actually let them just kind of calm down to the point where we even know what's true or not, where we even understand what our truth is. So very briefly, sometimes throughout the day here, what I get is a glimpse of somebody telling me their truth. And when it happens here at this house, everyone cries. And it happens not that often, but when it does, it's amazing. So I want to say that the rest of the time, what are we doing? The rest of the time is we sit here and try to connect with each other, and I have 10 thoughts in my head, but I'm only going to tell you one because I got no balls, because I don't want to look bad. I don't want you upset with me. And I'm not talking about opinion, because everybody says opinion. It's easy to roll out your opinion and fight over your opinion. But I'm talking about saying your truth like a fact. Like, this is just how I feel about you. This is what was just in my head. I don't know if it's true or not. It was in my head. So when I say get truthful, we don't even know if what we're about to say is the truth, but it is true that those thoughts are in your head, and it is true that you won't say them, and it is true that you will share those thoughts with somebody else about that person. So maybe it isn't, maybe the thought doesn't mean it's the dead set, you're right, it's the truth, but being truthful means I'm going to tell you all the thoughts are in my head. I'm going to be open enough just to explain to you what's going on in my mind, and I'm not going to hide it and save it for somebody else when I'm trying to connect with you. I'm going to find a way to navigate, not upsetting you, not being mean. I'm going to find it in my language that I don't upset you, I don't be mean, I don't be cruel, but I'm able to explain to you what's going on in my head, and then you explain to me what's going on in your head, and we connect. Or are you sitting with somebody and they're talking and all this shit's going on in your head and you're smiling? And then after you get done listening to them, you go talk to somebody else. And you go, can you believe this guy? This is what he thinks. This is what he said. I can't believe that's what he's thinking. I don't think that way. And I say this is the number one thing that we're dealing with, that we can't connect with each other because we don't have the balls to tell the truth. And by telling the truth, I also want to say it doesn't mean that it's the truth. It just means it's true that you're having those thoughts. It doesn't mean that they can have different thoughts, so that means that their thoughts aren't true. The truth is, I want to know the truth about what's going on in your mind, and you tell me, and I'll tell you what's going on in mine. And we'll get transparent with it. We'll dump our thoughts on the table and we'll sort them out. We'll play Scrabble with them. We won't defend them. We won't get angry. We won't state an opinion and then say, I'm right and you're wrong because we think differently. We'll actually be truthful. I'm not going to be able to connect with anyone if you said something that bothered me, or you said something that I didn't like, or you said something that I liked, and then I just kept it to myself. So how we go about this business of getting down to some place where we can be truthful? Well, we're not seeing a lot of relationships are a game. Like, let me tease you. This new game called, I think it's this new game here called like Funny, but it's not real funny. It's this game everyone's playing here where we like try to jump on everyone the other one says and try to catch them. It's a game played. But we're not getting down to any depth. We're not getting underneath anything. We're not getting to know each other. We're playing this game of you said something stupid and I caught you, and then, I'm going to say something funny. And it's a weird game that we play as we talk here. And then we play nice. And then sometimes we play mean, and we just say mean things. We don't know if it's true, but we just say mean things because it's our opinion. But very rarely. So how do we as people connect with other people? And to start out doing it, I got to get to a place where I'm secure enough that I can say my thoughts. And I can dump them out like a bag of chips. And I can put them all out there. But I'm not going to save my thoughts about Bobby for Connor. And I don't want to save my thoughts about Janet for Hannah. And I don't want to save my thoughts about Hannah for Kyle. And I don't want to save my thoughts about Emily for Liz. Because that's not truthful. So being truthful means emptying yourself in a factual way. Really getting down with it. And like I said, what it feels like when you do this is it feels like jumping off a cliff. Your heart starts pounding for what you're about to say. And you're not saying it mean. You're not jumping on no one. Your heart starts fluttering because you're going to say something that's true or not true, but it's your thoughts that are true. And I think being truthful nowadays, there is no truth. There's just truthful. There's no longer a truth. Your thoughts aren't true. My thoughts aren't true. My thoughts aren't the truth. And your thoughts aren't the truth. And your thoughts aren't the truth. There's no way that's possible. But me telling you my thoughts is true. So we create a distinction about what being truthful is. Like I said, I don't think everybody's lying. I just think nobody's truthful. And being truthful is the only way to fall in love. The only way to connect. If a couple is sitting riding in a car together and they're not empty, I would argue they're not in love either. Because if the man is sitting there thinking something about his wife and he's not willing to tell her, he's worried about something. And if she's sitting there not willing to tell him, then she's worried about something. Either worried about being too mean, either worried about losing him, either worried that she's outright lying, he's outright lying. But we are trying to connect with people, but we're not emptying our brains. If you don't empty your brain, how could you connect? Because there's all these thoughts that they can't see, and there are all these thoughts that you can't see, so you're only getting visibility to about 10% of their brain. So now you're trying to connect with 10% of a human being. It will not work. To be truly connected, you got to know 100% of someone's thoughts. In fact, when you do that, you start learning each other, and you start getting to a point where you know 100% of their thoughts, you know what they're going to think before they think it. And they know what you're going to think before you think it. And you start thinking the same. Mm-hmm. Really? So we really need to create what it is to be truthful. And this thing, my truth, your truth, and then we disagree on that. You know? Well, my truth is, no, that's your fucking opinion. That's not it. Just tell me your thoughts. That's truthful. Say it factually. And say it from a place like, when I was younger, this happened. Not politicize it, not make it huge, not try to gain from it. Here's my truth. When I was younger, here's my truth. I remember the only thing I said truthful for 17 years. And I knew I said something truthful because somebody finally listened. You know, for like 17 years, I was addicted to drugs. And in and out, always. My Aunt Shirley was somebody I really respected and I looked up to. I just did. And my Aunt Shirley had come and seen this family every 3-4 years. And every year as I was struggling with addiction, she would always ask me. And now her son worked for the Pentagon and the other one was an orthodontist. And you know, here was me. I was a drug addict. Had nothing going on. And so my Aunt Shirley would always ask me, she goes, what are you going to do next? And I was always between jobs. I always had a great idea. I was always kicking dope. Every time she seen me, I was 3 months clean. You know, I'm always 3 months. You know, hi, Aunt Shirley, up 3 months clean. About to start my own business. You know, yeah, every time, you know. And she kind of always would roll her eyes and kind of go, okay. And I would do that, but that would just make me feel okay or whatever to move on. And then, yeah, but maybe you could loan me $20, Aunt Shirley. And, you know, maybe if you leave your purse, I'll steal from it or whatever it was. And then finally I was 37 and I'd quit drugs for the first time. And I was about 2 months sober, really, truly. And she came out or whatever it was that went down. And she said, what are you going to do now, Art? And it was the first truthful thing I said in 17 years. I said, I don't know, Aunt Shirley. I can't usually get through a day without doing dope. And I'm just going to try not to do dope now. And she looked at me and finally and that was it, you know, truth. I wasn't putting on a show, wasn't trying to look good, wasn't giving her my opinion, wasn't getting her a grand. That's another thing. I said people tell me their opinions. People tell me their complaints. I also hear their plans. I always hear big plans, you know, but I don't hear your truth. The truth is big plans are hard. The truth is you're scared to create big plans. The truth is it being in early recovery and getting your bank account during COVID's a shit show. Yeah. Truth is I've seen people in this house just trying to get unemployment on the phone for 9.5 hours. The truth is relationships are hard and you're not very good at it. The truth is confronting your thoughts and saying them to other people's tough. People have power and you don't have power because you feel inferior and you just got sober and you feel weak and you're always in an inferior position and you don't feel like you matter. And so you're scared to say things to people. And the reason people don't say things to me, they're scared. I know that. I'm not always easy to deal with. I get it. So people always don't tell me their thoughts about me. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try to tell me my thoughts about you. And I'm going to tell you my thoughts about you. And I'm going to try with as much integrity I have, with as much as I can do. And I'm still going to fail, but I'm going to try. And I'm going to try to be truthful by emptying my brain and not hiding from you guys. And I'm going to say what my thoughts are in a way that I'm not going to argue with you because this is just my thoughts. I can't do anything about my thoughts. Listen, I like vanilla ice cream. I like it better than chocolate. You know, I mean, that's one of my thoughts. You know, maybe that's opinion, but really, if you're going to put chocolate and you're going to put vanilla out there, I'm going to grab the vanilla. Now, if you like chocolate and get all excited about that, but now you don't have to tell me that you like vanilla so that I'll like you. You know, but that's how bad it gets. Oh, you like vanilla? I like vanilla too, Art. Yeah. Oh, you like chocolate now? No, I like chocolate. Okay. Yeah. You know, that's how bad we get. Trying to please people. So I want to walk slowly. And I want to do a little coaching tonight or a little questions if you have them. But I challenge, and I say to people all the time, if you haven't investigated the fact that you don't tell, that you're not truthful, and when I say you're not truthful, that when you speak, your motivations aren't true, that you're sitting, that you can sit somewhere and you know, I went to the Landmark Forum, and Landmark Forum is about 600 people in a room. And they always say, someone want to come up and ask a question. And I sat for 3 days, 12 hours a day, and I didn't hear a question, but I saw hundreds of people go up to the mic. And here's how it sounded. I have a question. I run a multi-million-dollar company.
I'm just so stressed.
It has 100 people, and it's a lot of stress.
Yes.
What should I do to relieve my stress? Is that a bad thing that I have that kind of stress? That was the questions that were asked. Yeah. I have an Audi and a Ferrari. Which one should I drive here tonight? Big questions like that. I have a question. I've done this program 3 times and I'm here for the 4th time. Is it good that I'm doing it a 4th time? Seriously, these questions were asked. Not the Ferrari one, but the other ones. Yeah. I run a multi-million-dollar company. Should I be having my employees come to the Landmark Forum? Good question. Over and over and over. Questions designed to look good. Not for the purpose of a question.
The whole point of that question was to show that they were a multi-million-dollar.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, if I went to a seminar on economics, I'm curious about economics. I don't know anything about economics. I have to ask questions. So really getting to the point with people where we see that we're telling our truth, we're telling our thoughts about them to anyone else that will listen except them. And really admitting that. Really admitting how nasty it is. And really admitting that we're too scared. It's not really that nasty. It's just fear. And then really look. When we find somebody we can feel like we dominate and we feel like we're not scared of, we tell them all the truth about them. Hey, buddy. You know, it's not our boss we do this with, but our coworker that's below. Hey, I got to tell you, bud, you're a real failure. You suck at your job, and everyone around here knows it, and I just want to let you know because I like you and I'm protecting you. I mean, you're shitty. You should hear him talk about you, bud. You know, last night when you took out all the garbages, yeah, you didn't put liners in. I'm just here to help, bud. I care about you. You're a real piece of shit. But you don't go to your boss and say that shit. You go to your boss and you go, hi, boss. How's your day, boss? Then you go out to the smoking square and you go, that boss is a piece of shit. Who gave him this job? Fucking loser. We feel like we're protecting people or something. You know? Protecting people from our thoughts and the truth. Well, I say it comes at the sacrifice of connection. And I say we're trying to meet in the middle of our opinions. And if I've found one thing to be true during COVID, I suffer from my opinion. Meaning, whenever I say it, I'm in a fight with someone. And COVID's really brought this out. COVID and Black Lives Matter and cancel culture and politics and masks and no masks and flat earth and no flat earth and Superman and black Superman and oh my God. We suffer from our opinions. Just note, if you're in a room with 10 people and you say your opinion, 5 people now dislike you. but we don't suffer. So how do you know whether you're saying your truth or your opinion? Because people never dislike you when you say the truth. People cry when you say the truth. So how do you distinguish between your opinion and the truth? Because when you say your truth, people will cry. When you say your truth, people won't argue. When you say your truth, people won't deny it. So when you found your truth, the way you'll know you found it is people ain't going to argue with you. But if people are arguing with you, it's probably because it's your opinion. So how do you slow your mind down enough? How do you investigate yourself enough to even find the truth inside yourself? How do you calm down and slow down and get with your thoughts and find out and empty them? Discard some of them because they're nonsense, and you know they're nonsense, so you don't need to always just say nonsense. You know, you might not want to tell your best friend that her dog's stupid. You know, you might. You know? Just got to tell you your dog's a dipshit. You know? And the fact that you have that dog makes me not want to like you. Maybe.
Shelly tells me when my dog's ugly.
Shelly.
Joy.
Yeah.
Effie. I know.
How about you look at your friend's baby? Come over and see the baby.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's some wrinkly old man laying there. Yeah. Yeah. And then you just outright tell him, that looks like a wrinkly old shitbag you got there. Yeah. Okay, I'm ready for questions or coaching or whatever.
All right, so let's open it up. So any questions, any comments are welcome as well. Don't let them scare you away from not asking a question. If you have a comment, something to share, anybody out there struggling and needing a coaching moment, this is your opportunity. We have about 25 minutes left, so we've got plenty of time to get to you. All you do is just raise your hand feature. There's a raise your hand feature here. Let me show you. I just raised my hand. You can see the raise your hand feature and you can get in line. And then if you can't figure out how to find that on your device, you can just simply unmute yourself, raise your arms, get my attention somehow. And we will get.
They're, you know, jokes are funny because they're true. I like that last joke you did, Kyle.
Yeah.
All the jokes were great tonight. All
The
the
last one was great.
yes,
Do I need to?
one.
Yeah, yeah. And that was, it really felt there was a lot of truth to it.
Yeah.
You know, both Kyle and Bobby and the way they, you know, interact.
Adorable.
Yeah. Yeah. Do I need to repeat it? Yeah. Yeah. Kyle said, I think that there is a gay person at the Rebuild Recovery House. I really hope it's Bobby. He's really cute. You know? I mean, yes.
I like that. Bobby Fabulous. That's nice.
Yes. Yes.
That's nice.
Yes.
All right, who's first out there? Questions, comments?
No, I know I scared him tonight. I know.
You did. They're like, nope, I'm not gonna risk looking bad.
Oh, what is that? Oh, that's
an ugly baby.
Whoa.
That's an ugly baby. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's the best ice cream.
I think there's people out there, and you know, I can see Kristen, and you know, Kristen, this is you. Like, how do you start getting those thoughts that are in your head out to your family, and how do you start dumping? This is a thought dump. This is like, what do we do to start this process? You see?
Yeah. Well, I did dump last night, and I was just down. Breezy had a seizure, so Monty called me down to deal with the seizure, and I said, I swear to God, Art was out with us last night when we were having this little discussion, because I had said my truth yet I said it in a way that I used language that wasn't strategic, right? I didn't use the right words, and I probably came off a little angry. And so that then got him angry. And so it just kind of blew up. And instead of it laying out there and us talking about it like you're talking about, it was a head-to-head thing, you know. And then, but later on, it was great because now we're learning through all this stuff that we need to talk about it more, you know. And we realized, and Monty said that too. He goes, it didn't take long, like an hour, and we were fine again, because now we realized what we had done. Before, we didn't realize what we had done. So it just continued for 2 weeks.
I don't think people should be hesitant, you know, at first to just not to worry about the fact that you're going to fight, you know, to worry about the fact that people are going to be angry. I think you just do it, and notice that clearing that comes after the fight.
Yeah.
And that relief. And then as you go on, yeah, of course we want to improve at this, but we are so bad at this, including myself. We're so bad at this as human beings that the idea of even having some type of conversation with people that we can achieve this is really overwhelming. I mean, even thinking about how you would go about the business of actually doing this without being in a fight within the first 5 minutes is tough. I mean, really, you know, and because we don't really know, we're not really up on our own truth. And we're just saying how we feel and saying some type of opinion about the behavior of somebody else. And that's normally what we're doing, is we're giving our opinion on the behavior of someone else. And we're calling that truth. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how you investigate deeper into you, your own motivation. What motivates you first? Really, when I said that, you know, I don't even know. I don't know why I said, you know, that kind of thing. So this could end in a lot of fights, or it could begin in a lot of fights.
Yeah, but ours ended up then beautifully after we realized what we did. It was great.
Right. But we just have all these relationships of people keeping their thoughts to themselves.
I'm learning. I'm not keeping them to myself much. Or
no. I know. I'm just saying this was one for you, because I just really see that this is something that you would work on. And that, you know, for a lot of years in your family, there was probably keep your thoughts to yourself and everyone kind of get along and play nice.
Mm-hmm. Ever since I was little. Yeah, that was it.
And now it's not that way. And that's a big, beautiful. Okay, we got hands raised.
Yes, we sure do. Okay, it's Donna, then Linda. So Donna, let's get you unmuted. Thank you, Kristen. Let's see. Now we can't see you. Yeah, there you are.
This is exactly the struggle that I am having. Is I find myself not wanting to get in confrontation, because when I bring up matters, I'm trying to not get blood splatter, like Art used to say, and to choose my words wisely, to not wound with them. But then I am holding back. I'm not saying what I need to say in what my truth is. I find myself not engaging at all in order to not cause a confrontation.
When you're saying what you're saying, Donna, are you saying that you want to tell somebody what they're doing bothers you?
Yes and no. Just that what they're doing is affecting me, and I see them struggling. And do you want help, or do you want me to back off? How much involvement do you want in this? Or do you want me to just leave you alone?
Okay. Now, let me tell you one where we start back in the problem here. One, are you telling them their behavior because it's affecting you and you don't like it? or are you telling them their behavior needs to change because of their life?
A little of both. A little of both. I have my second son, and he's not a drug addict. He just turned 21. He still hasn't drank, even though he's 21. And but he is very much addicted to his cell phone and computers.
I think this is a great point to really highlight what I'm talking about here, because if I were to say to anyone, I went to them and I go, hey, my truth is that the way you're acting is having a tremendous impact on me.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not truth. That's just, I want you to know that I'm a victim to you and I need you to stop.
Right.
Okay. So, I mean, and I think people say that all the time. And I wanted to be clear, because that's not what I'm talking about tonight.
Okay.
Because this is like when you're saying your truth, it's a complaint.
Right.
Okay. So now you're trying to connect on a complaint.
Right.
You're not trying to connect on anything other than a complaint, and trying to connect on a complaint or trying to connect on our opinion doesn't work.
Okay.
So you have a complaint about that person. Now, getting what we're suggesting is that how do you get yourself to a point where the behavior, now, very difficult, because, how old is this person?
21.
21. Are you funding it?
No.
No? They fund their own life?
Yes.
Okay, so what can you do about them being on their cell phone or their computer?
Right. Because when he doesn't show up for work on time, his boss calls me. And I'm like, I don't want to be involved.
Yeah. Well, isn't more truthful than, like your truth would be something to the extent of, I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I mean, how do you, or you don't even address the issue. You say it's an issue. It's always on my mind. Hey, son, this thing that you're doing, it's always going to be on my mind. I'm going to let you know that right now. But we're going to have but we're going to have to work around it some way. But this idea that I'm going to say my truth, and then my truth is that you affect me negatively, and I don't like that. That's not the whole truth. That's something, but it's not even nothing. It's like, my truth is that, it's like if the kids were in my program and then they got high, and I go, my truth is that when you get high, it just really ruins my program, and I don't like that it ruins my program.
Right.
Right? No, it's different. It's like that's nothing. What I'm talking about is those things that you say to other people about that person.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm talking in this case tonight, being truthful.
Right.
The things you're willing to say privately, you're not willing to say publicly. The things you don't want people to know about you because maybe they're messed up and you think they're messed up. I don't know. You see? But saying that that's your truth, that's your complaint about him, and I don't care if you want to tell him your complaint. That doesn't matter. But that's not going to connect.
Right.
What I'm saying tonight is what's going to connect is what would do more to inspire your son would tell him more about the other thoughts and the other parts of your life that are in your head that he didn't know about.
So how do you think I should go about connecting with him then?
Well, I'm saying what's more of the truth? Was something like, hi, I'm your mom, and I fantasize about beautiful firemen all the time. Is that the truth?
No.
Okay. Well, who do you fantasize about?
Vacation. I would like to go on a really nice vacation.
Now you're lying to me. Now you're lying to me. This lady has no. See, this is what I'm saying. No, I'm telling you. You want to get. How am I going to get to know you, Don, if you won't tell me what's in your mouth? Yeah.
It ain't that. Nope.
When me and Andrew were in Vegas, there was a sky bridge, and I saw some women being very truthful. We were staying at a hotel, and there was a sky bridge that went across from one hotel to the other, and we had to walk across the sky bridge, and there was 5 women, and they were on the middle of the sky bridge, and down below was this hotel firehouse. There was real firemen in there. They were there, and one of them was jumping rope, and one of them was doing pull-ups on a pull-up bar. And these 5 women were ogling these 2 men, and they were being very truthful. I mean, it was like I never heard women be that truthful. Like, oh, look at this guy. I want to take a piece of him, and they're just going off. And but he really got to know those women as we walked across the bridge. I'm serious. I'm just going to pose the question again to everybody. If you're not going to empty your thoughts to people, how are they going to get to know you? So, I mean, that's what I'm trying to say on this connection. I'm not on here tonight to say that you should tell your addict your complaints about them. Although you should. Fine. But that's not where the connection's going to come.
Right.
The connection's going to come when you learn what he thinks about and he learns what you think about.
Right.
That's where connection is going to come. When we're honest, if I could connect with my father nowadays, I would tell and have an hour with him or 2 hours, I would tell him my thoughts. And then I would ask him his thoughts. And that's how I would connect.
Well, he does go in depth about his video games to me.
Yeah, and then you're listening, but you don't like listening.
No.
Have you told him that?
No.
Okay, you're a liar. See?
Right?
That's what I'm talking about right there. Hey, I don't want to hear about your stupid video games. That's more of a connection than listening to the stupid story about the video games and then complaining about it.
Right. I pretend to be interested and I could care less.
That's right. And that's just nothing.
Yeah.
You get a better chance of connection. Go, can we talk about something else? I want to hear about the women you like. I want to hear about something other than that.
Right.
I don't want to not hear about you. I just don't want to hear from you. I just don't want to hear about that.
Yeah.
Video games don't interest me. I know you have those thoughts about video games, but tell me some of your other thoughts. All right.
That's a good idea. Thank you, Art.
Thank you, Donna. We're going to go to Linda, but let me ask, Erin, did you have a question? I just want, no. Okay. You'd gotten unmuted. I didn't know if that was why. So, okay, I'll take you off and let's get Linda unmuted. Linda Westcott, really good to see you. We're working on getting you unmuted here.
Okay.
There you go. Hey, Linda. It's been a long time.
It has been a long time.
Yes.
And first of all, this is for Kyle. The CDC announced today we can take off our masks when we've been dead for 30 days. Our masks can come off. Okay.
Where's Kyle? That's good. Kyle, did you write that down? That's good.
Pot is killing me, and I don't understand pot because we've had so many family members and they say, oh, pot's fine, pot's fine, pot's fine. I'm going, pot's not fine. And our son now is 31, pot's not fine, but he's up and down this scale. And every time we try to tell him the truth, he goes, he reacts horribly. And so I know it's time to say, okay, it's time to say, you know, what Art says, the bottom line, for mom to say, this is it. But it is, there are times where he's amazing, and then there's times where he's not. He's 31, we don't support him, but I swear that pot has totally changed his brain, and and he's amazing.
Okay,
yeah.
Linda, and I want to clarify again with another part of this topic that tonight I'm not doing a topic about connecting with somebody who's actively using drugs. Connecting with a human being that's actively using drugs is not very easy, and it's not very fruitful. I mean, there's really no fruit in it. So we're not going to do that. What we're going to do with people that are actively using drugs is we're going to figure out a way to get them into drug treatment. And that's really the only solution. And so as a family, what strategy do we employ to get this person into treatment? And I want to clarify to all the other people, not you, Linda, but to everybody else, that I'm not suggesting here that you go tell all your thoughts to a drug addict.
That's right.
And I'm not suggesting that you sit there and want to know all the delusional thoughts of somebody on meth. It's not that. What I'm talking about is the rest of our lives. What I'm talking about is when they're sober. What I'm talking about is connecting, just the truth about what we're doing here in this house, what people are doing in their households, what people are doing with their friends and their bosses and their coworkers. And that's the topic tonight, is to say that we are a disconnected community of people. And we want to try, and we're going about the business of connecting with people on 5% of the information in our brain given to them, while hiding 95% and then trying to connect with people. So I want to be clear that that's tonight's topic. But now,
I'm sorry. You know what? And I'm sorry. I was going off kind of last week, and I kind of missed the beginning. So yes.
No problem. All I'm just suggesting is let's get you in. I don't remember the case. Did we ever do a coaching or?
Well, I was just going to say it's been a few years. I want to say it's been at least 2 or 3 years. We met Linda and Rick, I believe Rick Westcott. They were the motorhome. They had the motorhome recreational.
The motorhome.
Yes. And you know what? It's been so long that I would recommend Linda, come in and seeing us, and let's just take a look at.
Yeah, we can do coaching or a consult, Linda. I can't get down to the business of how to help you. So
yeah. So
no, I remember you have great family, and I remember there wasn't just you and your husband there. There was brothers and sisters.
Yeah, there was a brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to find the right truth to get our son to say, just one meeting with you, Art, just one meeting. It's like, yeah.
Wow. We'll figure out a strategy, not the truth.
Yeah,
okay.
Really good to see you, Linda. I'll shoot you a message with some details, and we'd love to see you and sit down, take a look at things.
Thank you.
Yeah, and join us on my Wednesday mornings. Tomorrow morning, moms, 11 a.m. Little reminder, we'd love to have you if you can join us, Linda.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, we've got about 4 minutes left. I'm going to just do a little breeze through and just see if I've missed anybody.
I've got a question if there's no hands raised.
Great.
Or comment.
I'm not seeing anybody, and I'm not seeing anybody new. I did see a new guy, but I don't see him now. Okay, go ahead, Bobby. Oh yeah, Ronald. Yeah, we'll meet Ronald before we log off too. But go ahead, Bobby. Can't hear. Can we fix that?
Here, come here, Bobby.
Just over here. Who wants to hear Bobby?
Yeah.
Well, this was a question for you.
Okay, I'll sit back down when you get done.
Sit on his lap.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were sitting in group last night, and I started to cry listening to Jeff. And I was sitting today thinking about my mom, and I was trying to get honest, and I was like, oh my God, sorry. I'm miserable, but my mom's happy. And this is me being truthful. I thought to myself, listening to Jeff, how long do I have to be good until I can do what I want to do again, which is escape? How long do I have to stay sober till I don't have to be sober anymore? How much do I have to do so I can run away again? And I was just thinking, I was like, for now, it's okay because my mom can sleep. My mom can hold my hand. I cried when, the Parker thing last night. I've been crying a lot. And right now, it's keeping me sober. I don't know. I've been trying to play the role that other people want me to play, and it's just a performance. It's like be what everybody wants me to be so that I can go home and just keep stacking up those points so I can cash them in. And I got emotional. I got anxiety because it's like, I'm fucking miserable. And it comes out. I snap. I get angry. And it's like, I just was sitting over there and I was trying to hold back the tears. And it's like, how long do I have to stay good until I can just escape again? And I can just change how I feel. But I mean, right now, I'll trade my happiness for my mom's. I'll sacrifice what I want just so she can sleep. And listening to Jeff last night, I was like, 3 years? I have to stay good for 3 years? Is that what it is? Fuck, dude, fuck.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I was thinking. Sorry.
I think when you tell your truth, everyone knows it. Is there anyone here that knows that wasn't true?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I get that, living that way of stacking points. I get that. I get that being good, thinking that we have some bank account that we're depositing in. I don't know.
All right, I just have a quick question, or not, I guess a statement to make. And regarding Bobby, I wish I could hug all of them right now, including my own son. Unfortunately, my son decided to go off with this girl, which he is partly to blame for this, because he didn't want to stay in the program anymore and do the right thing. And consequently, we've got now what we've got with him. And hopefully he's going to make it through this, but we don't know. It's touch and go. And, I wish I could hug all of you right now. Because I can't hug my son because of COVID. I can't even go visit him. But you guys need to stay strong and just know that this isn't going to be forever. Yeah. This is just part of life. That's all I have to say.
I always tell people that that recovery, or whatever we're calling this, it's like golf. You could be out with Tiger Woods and he's walking on the golf course and you're walking on the golf course and you both have a club and a ball. You are both golfing. There's nobody that can deny, and it doesn't matter about the motivation. It doesn't matter about why you're there. It just matters that you're both golfing at that point. So at this point, we're all here and we're on the course. And the only thing that you can do is to not be on the course is to walk off the course. Now, other than that, what happens in recovery is just like golf, for the most part, we're just whacking the ball all over the place. But every now and then you hit one beautiful shot straight down the fairway. And those shots keep you on the course. Yeah. Those shots keep you coming back. So it's the duration of time where you find these creative things in your life and you find these pockets of love and you find these shots that come in, but you got to stay sober for them. And it's like, if you don't and you stop, the whole process starts over again. And you got to stay long enough. And I know, and everybody has this mythical illusion that addicts get clean for themselves. No, they don't. No, we don't. We don't do it when we're ready. No addicts get clean because they're ready to get clean. If you heard that, it's from some addict that said that after 10 years of being clean, that's bragging about being clean. But if you ask them why they really got clean, they'll tell you it was jail, a car wreck, their parents had enough, they were homeless. They almost died. So that being said right there contradicts anything. You can't say on the same sentence, an addict has to get clean when they want to get clean, and then contradict yourself by saying an addict needs to hit bottom. Which one is it? You see? So the truth is, we do this for other people. We do this for our family. We do this for people that love us. We do it for the community here. And then somewhere along the line, it becomes about us. And somewhere along the line, that feeling that you have right now goes away. Little by little, the longer you stay sober, it goes away. And you fill it with other things. And so you have to wait for it. And that's the challenge of recovery. That's the whole challenge. If it went away right away on the first day, there would be no challenge, right? So it's that gap that we're trying to fill, and then you see it. And it's the connectedness that we gain, the relationships that hold us accountable, the creativity when we start a business or we make some money. I was with a friend of mine that had 11 years, and he goes talking to me, asked me the other day, what is the solution? What are you teaching? And this and that. And I said, I don't know, man. I said, I teach a lot of different stuff. And afterwards he goes, if I didn't find a way with 6 months clean to start making a lot of money, I wouldn't be here today. And that's what he said his thing was. He said, I made a lot of money. He goes, if I would have found a way to make a lot of money really quick, I would have been loaded. And he was being honest. He's got 12 years now. All right. Let's go ahead and go to.
Yeah, before we close, I wanted to make sure we have Ronald Homer here. I know he's a friend of Kristen's. Just wanted to say hi and allow you to introduce yourself real quick so we can see you.
All righty. Well, yeah, first time in. Kristen invited me in. We've been with the same health coach for a while. That's how we actually know each other, through a different group. And just in talking in general, actually the coach had put us together. I came on here honestly to get some information and get some guidance and understanding on how to navigate. I've got an 18-year-old son who is an addict. And it's been unbearable to watch him, just kind of falling daily and not knowing. And on my side, even more so, is he wants nothing to do with me. So in the last year, now he lives with mom currently, moved out from my house, basically telling me that I told him I never wanted him back in my house, which was not what I had said. What I had said, of course, was that I didn't want his disrespect for house rules and I didn't want his drugs in my home, but I wanted him. And he took that as something completely different. But anyway, so I'm trying to find ways to just navigate this whole situation. It's been a couple of years, up until about 2 weeks ago. he hadn't spoke to me other than a couple of times that he wanted to come get some things that were in his room at my house, which I found out later he turned to sell to, do things he needed to do. But yeah, I'm just really just trying to find some options here. He was very reluctant. We did some counseling, and then he tried an outpatient piece that didn't work well. And then he decided he wanted to try an inpatient and lasted 10 days and then removed himself, and had some good calls to mom and a couple of not so good days with mom. And just a couple of days after being out, relapsed. And then now he's talking about going back in, and it's just the up and down that I just have no idea how to navigate. And again, my information comes secondhand because I hear it from his mother. We're very good friends and we parent the best that we can. We have 3 children. He's got a twin brother and we've got a daughter that's 20, just about to turn 21. There's just a lot of emotion. And again, I came into this, it was interesting. I came into this, but listening to Art speak, it's brought up a whole nother thing for me to consider of my own, which is phenomenal. And thank you for that. It's great. It's actually I'm a note taker and I've got plenty already. But I mean, the main reason for coming here was to just get some help and some guidance and find out more about the programs that you guys have available. We're down here in Vancouver, Washington, so we're not too far south. But just looking at some options and just, how to, and Art saying, you can't really connect with an addict. That's not the thing, but I want to connect with my son because I haven't had that in 2 years, aside from the addiction piece beforehand. So,
hey, Rob, I need an excuse to go down to Portland, and there's a poker game down there I want to sit in on this week. Get you on the schedule for coaching, and I'm going to shoot down there. Deansy, this guy's name's Deansy. He's got a game. If you've ever heard of it, it's huge. It's a great game. I want to go down there and play. So
Ronald, let's connect tomorrow. Would love to.
Okay.
I don't know if Kristen's already told you about a consultation, but let's just connect and take a look and just get a starting point. And
okay.
Yeah. And then we could,
Sounds good.
we could talk about some coaching down in Portland.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Let's make sure to connect tomorrow. Kristen, you can give me my number, and would love to set something up tomorrow if you're available.
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. All right. Great to meet you. You came to the right
Thank you,
place.
guys.
You came to the right place.
Appreciate it.
All right.
I want to just close with this idea that if I can, this is kind of where we've got in a position in this group, hopefully to be in this position, this group where we can impact families from this position, and we can, kind of make a difference in your home, since you're tuning into our home and we're all together. And, I encourage this real thing to take a look at, that if you have loved ones and they know about 50 to 60% of the thoughts in your head, and you're hiding the rest, that they don't know you, and that it'd be very difficult to connect with people we don't know. And I think this is the thing. But everyone seems to tell everyone their opinions. I seem to know the political affiliations of all my friends, and people are okay with telling me I can just tell on my Facebook who likes what. So it's real easy for people to tell their opinion on Facebook, and real easy to distinguish those thoughts and tell me their preferences and who they like politically. But this real difficult process of emptying your true thoughts, not your truth, emptying your true thoughts onto a table and sorting them out with another human being. And I just say that really what we saw tonight was we saw truth here in this room. And we saw Pam tell us some truth about her son and what she's going through. And then we saw Bobby tell us the truth about what he's going through. And we saw it. And we saw it, and it made us cry. That's how we know we saw it. So I want to challenge everyone, say if you find yourself in a verbal death match, you're probably not telling your truth. You're probably telling your opinion. If you find yourself in a fist fight or bumping up with somebody or arguing. You're probably not telling your truth. You're in a fist fight. You're an opinion fist fight. And we see that too. So again, I hope that this shines a light on some of the thoughts that you're not telling the people around you, and that you have the courage to empty your thoughts with the people that deserve to hear them rather than the people that don't even know them. So once again, thank you for tuning in. It was an honor, and see you next Tuesday.
See you next week. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Is he saucy?
Good night. Good night.
Good
Good night. Good night.